back to the Beach Bum Bookworm. I am Tiffany. I'm so glad y'all found me again today. My channel is all about cozy mysteries and romance. If you're new here, hello. If you're not new here, welcome back. This is part 2 of Are You a Cozy Mystery Fan? You might be if you like these things. Right here. If you like Hallmark movies, check. If you like Hallmark mystery movies, double check. If you're a fan of Gilmore Girls and you also like mysteries too, you might be a cozy mystery fan. I just know it. So I thought I would go and do some digging of the best towns to start with to give it a try. You're welcome. Here is what my friends had to say. So this is part 2, and if you stay tuned till the very end, you'll get my list of what I think are the best cozy mystery towns. These might not be people's favorite cozy mystery series, but these are what they believe are the best locations or towns to start with if you like those other things that I was talking about. So these towns are going to be where there's a lot of quirky characters and fun things to do and a lot of festivities and events and stuff like that. So my first friend that I want to talk about is Stephanie. This is Stephanie from Miss Richards Reads. I will put her link to her channel in the description below. Stephanie reads everything, and I love watching her videos because she has such a just calming and peaceful presence about her, about the exact opposite of me. But sometimes I need that, like, and I feel like no matter what she's talking about, it just makes me feel so at peace. I love, love, love her channel. Make sure you check her out. So here is her first suggestion. It is The Bake Shop by Ellie Alexander, which is a double up. Again, the first book is called Meet Your Baker, and there are 15 books in this series. I think currently 15 out. It takes place in Ashland, Oregon, which is the home to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. I read the description in the first video of the first book, but definitely check out this series. I'm currently binging it right now, and it is so good. Her second suggestion was another double up. It is the Booktown series by Lorna Barrett, taking place in Stoneham, New Hampshire. And I think the first book is called Murder's Binding. I'll put it right here. The third series that Stephanie mentioned is one of my favorite series of all time. It is the Amish Candy Shop series / the Amish Matchmaking series by Amanda Flower. These are 2 separate series by the same author. They both take place in the same town, however, Harvest, Ohio. So the one that she mentioned was the Candy Shop. The first book is called Assaulted Caramel. It says, Bailey King is living the sweet life as an assistant chocolatier at a famous New York chocolate company. But just when she's up for a major promotion, she gets word that her grandfather Jebediah's heart condition has worsened. Bailey rushes to Harvest, Ohio, where her grandparents still run Swissman Sweets, the Amish candy shop where she first learned about delicious fudge, truffles, and other assorted delights. Yum. Unfortunately, Bailey's grandparents are suffering from more than just heart trouble. A local English land developer is trying to take over the shop. And when the man is found dead in the candy shop kitchen with Jebediah's chocolate knife buried in his chest, the sheriff suspects Bailey. Now, with the sweet hope of a handsome deputy, Bailey is out to clear her name. 7 books, absolutely amazing. Great suggestion, Stephanie. The next series that Stephanie suggested is the Cheese Shop Mystery Series by Avery Ames. The first book is called The Long Quiche Goodbye. It'll be right here. The main character is Charlotte. She's the co-owner of a cheese shop. It says, welcome to the grand opening of her very famous and fancy titled cheese shop that I'm not going to try to pronounce. Or, as is commonly known by the residents of small town Providence, Ohio, the Cheese Shop. Thank you, residents of Providence, Ohio. That's what I will call it too. The Cheese Shop, see? Proprietor Charlotte Bassett has prepared a delightful sampling of cheese, wine, delicious torts, but someone else has decided to make a little crime of passion, the piece Day resistance. Right outside the shop, Charlotte finds a body, the victim stabbed to death with one of her prize olive wood handled knives. 7 books in that series. The covers on those series are amazing. So the next series is the Seaside Cafe Mystery Series. This is by Bree Baker. It takes place in Charm, North Carolina. Book 1 is called Live and Let Chai. It says, life hasn't been so sweet for Everly Swan over the past couple of years, but now she's back in her seaside hometown of Charm, North Carolina, the proud new owner of Sun Sand & Tea, a cafe right on the beach. Everly thinks that things are finally starting to look up until a grouchy customer turns up dead on the boardwalk with a jar of one of her specialties lying right next to him. When an autopsy reports poison in his system, things don't look good for Everly or her tea shop. 6 books in that series. Wow. I read the first one and it was good. Thank you, Stephanie. Amazing suggestions. Next up is my friend Nancy. Nancy recommended for, I think, the 3rd time, maybe the 4th time, the Maine Clam Bake series. I think we're onto something here. Busman's Harbor, Maine must be where it's at. Might be a wonderful place to start. Again, that series is by Barbara Ross. The first book is called Clammed Up. The second series that Nancy mentioned is the Cottage on Gooseberry Bay series. This is by Kathy Daly. The first book is called Halloween Moon. It is right here. It says, Ainsley Holloway had come to Gooseberry Bay to find answers about her past. She'd come to find an explanation for the dreams that haunted her after the death of the cop who'd both rescued and raised her. And she'd come to identify the family she couldn't remember, but knew in her heart she once belonged to. Ainsley hoped by finding these answers, she'd also find healing. She hoped that once she resurrected the memories buried deep in her mind, she'd find peace. The Cottage at Gooseberry Bay is a series about not only finding answers, but finding hope. It's a series about family and friendship. It's a series about shared holidays, festivities, and celebrations. It's a series about heartache and heartbreak. And it's a series about the bond that can be forged among strangers when tragedy binds 2 or more individuals with a common goal. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. 7 books in that series. And I have heard fabulous things about the Cottage at Gooseberry Bay series. Everybody just gives this series ringing endorsements. I can't wait to try it out. The next series that Nancy mentioned is another double up. All of my cozy friends have it right. A lot of them said the same series, which is good. That means that those are where you should start for the most cozy towns. She said the Secret Book and Scone Society series. This is again by Ellery Adams, and I think the first book is called the Secret Book and Scone Society. Thank you, Nancy, for your wonderful list. That's awesome. Next up, we have my friend Booksster. Booksster also mentioned the Gooseberry Bay series that Nancy was just talking about. So the next series that Booksster mentioned is the Book Lovers B&B Mystery Series by Victoria Gilbert. The first book is called Book for Death, and this takes place in Beaufort, North Carolina. Nestled in historic waterfront of Beaufort, North Carolina, Chapter's Bed and Breakfast is a reader's paradise. Built in 1770, the newly renovated inn hosts a roster of special events celebrating books, genres, and authors. It's the perfect literary retreat until a rare book dealer turns up dead in the carriage house during a celebration of Golden Age mystery author Josephine Tay. The victim's daughter points a finger at 42-year-old widow and former school teacher Charlotte Reed, who inherited the B&B from her great-aunt Isabella. Charlotte is shocked to discover that the book dealer suspected Isabella of being a thief who founded Chapters on her ill-gotten gains. Charlotte has successfully learned the B&B business in a year, but nothing has prepared her to handle a death on the premise. There are 3 books in that. The 3rd book will be coming out. I just read number 2 within this past week. It's good. So the next series that Booksster recommended is the other series that takes place in Harvest, Ohio. So this is the Amish Matchmaking series by Amanda Flower. Book 1 is called Matchmaking Can Be Murder. It says, when widowed Millie Fisher moves back to her childhood home of Harvest, Ohio, she notices one thing right away. The young Amish are bungling their courtships and marrying the wrong people. This is including her niece, Edith, who's about to marry greedy Zeke Miller. Anyone can see he's not right for her. Pleased when she convinces the young bride to leave her betrothed before the wedding, Millie is later panicked when she finds Zeke's body in Edith's greenhouse, as dead as a tulip in the middle of winter. To keep her niece out of prison and to protect her own reputation, Millie will have to piece together a patchwork of clues to find the killer. 3 books, and I am so anticipating the third one that just came out last week. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm so excited for it. So the last series that Booksster mentioned is one that I am caught up on and absolutely love. It is the Poppy McCallister series by Libby Klein. The first book is called Class Reunions Are Murder, and this takes place in Cape May, New Jersey. Newly widowed and stuck in a middle-aged funk, Poppy has been running on cookies, infomercials, and one-sided chats with her cat for months. There's no way on earth she's attending her 25-year class reunion, especially after receiving a very bizarre letter from Barbie, the popular cheerleader who taunted her all through school. That is, until Poppy's best friend practically drags her to the event. Using the dreaded homecoming as an excuse to visit her eccentric Aunt Jenny, Poppy vows to leave Cape May with pride and Spanx intact. Too bad Barbie is still the queen of mean at the reunion, and worse, that her dead body is lying right in front of Poppy's old locker. Singled out as the killer, it's up to Poppy to confront her past and clear her name. 7 books in that series. It is so good. I'm caught up, can't wait for the next one. Booksster, amazing suggestions. Love them. Everybody, you've done so amazing. My next friend to give me some great suggestions is Jess Key. She has a fabulous YouTube channel of her own where she talks a lot about cozy mysteries. I'm going to put her channel in the link below and make sure in the description below. The link to her channel in the description below. And make sure you go and check her out. Fabulous channel. All right, so the first suggestion that she gave me was one that I was like, oh, yep, love it. It's the Campers and Criminals series by Tanya Kappas. Book 1 is called Beaches, Bungalows, and Burglaries. It is right here. It says, hi, I'm Mae West. No, not the actress. If you would have told me a year ago that I was going to be broke and penniless after my husband took everyone to the cleaners after he pulled off one of the biggest Ponzi schemes, leaving me a rundown campground, a set of camper keys before he escaped prison, and when the FBI came to the campground to see if it helped him escape, then the no good you-know-what floated up to the top of the lake in that campground, making me the #1 suspect, I would have said, you were lying. 26 books in that series. It is so much fun. That series, I love the location of that series. Good suggestion. So the next suggestion is the Cape Bay Cafe series by Harper Lynn. The first book is called Cappuccinos, Cupcakes, and a Corpse. It is right here. It says Francesca moves back to her hometown of Cape Bay, Massachusetts, and takes over her family's business, Antonia's Italian Cafe. She spends her days making delicious artisan cappuccinos until she stumbles upon her neighbor's dead body. When the police discover Mr. Cardosi was poisoned, Francesca becomes a suspect. The victim's son, Maddie, happens to be Francesca's old high school friend. Together, they uncover the secrets of the locals in order to find the killer in this idyllic beach town. 10 books in that series. That sounds adorable. And a beach town is a perfect location for a cozy mystery. And I've read another series by Harper Lynn, and I really enjoy it. Jess Key also gave 3 more suggestions, and I think they were all mentioned. The Bake Shop by Ellie Alexander. This is the Ashland, Oregon. Meet Your Baker right here, book 1. She mentioned the Seaside Cafe series by Bree Baker. The first book is called Live and Let Chai, right here. And her 5th suggestion is The Secret Book and Scone Society, which I think the first book in that series is actually entitled that, by Ellery Adams. What a fabulous list. Thank you so much, Jess Key. So my next person is my friend Sherry, who reads a ton of cozy mysteries. Like, you could combine some of the rest of us and not reach the levels of books that Sherry reads. It's incredible. So her first suggestion is the Magical Cats series. This is by, oh no, Sophie Kelly or Sophie Ryan. I'm so sorry, I didn't write it down. Oh no. The first book is called Curiosity Thrilled the Cat. The author will be on there for you. It says, when librarian Kathleen Paulson moved to Maryville Heights, Minnesota, she had no idea that two stray cats would nuzzle their way into her life. Owen is a tabby with a catnap addiction, and Hercules is a stocky tuxedo cat who shares Kathleen's fondness for Barry Manilow. I just read this synopsis a couple of days ago for my magical spotlight series for fall spectacular spotlights. And I just, as soon as I got to it, I was like, oh yeah, that's so funny. But beyond all the fur and purrs, there's something more to these kitties. When murder interrupts Maryville's Wild Rose Summer Music Festival, Kathleen finds herself the prime suspect. More stunning is her realization that Owen and Hercules are truly special, perhaps even magical. Now, with a little legwork from her four-legged friends, Kathleen may be able to solve this perfect murder. 13 books in that series. Wow. And Minnesota, I think, always sounds like such a cozy location because I feel like you would need blanket and like a nice hot cup of coffee or your choice of other hot beverages, hot chocolate or something like that. And doesn't that sound cozy? So Sherry's next suggestion is the Miss Marple series. The first book is called The Murder at the Vicarage. It says Miss Marple encounters a compelling murder mystery in the sleepy little village town of St. Mary Mead, where under seemingly peaceful exterior of English country village, lurks intrigue, guilt, deception, and death. 12 books in that series. Anything English village sounds incredibly quaint and cozy. So if you like midsummer murders or something like that, that might be something that you would like is the Miss Marple. You should give it a shot. All right. So the next series that Sherry recommended was the Cozy Corgi series. This is by Mildred Abbott. The first book is called Cruel Candy. It's right here. It says Estates Park, Colorado, picturesque mountains, charming shops, delightful bakeries, a cozy bookstore, and murder. Oh my gosh, the first sentence, there you go. This sounds like, if you're into all those things I keep talking about, you might be a cozy mystery fan. Winifred Page and her corgi Watson moved to Estates Park to hit the reset button on life. Fred is about to open her dream shop, and the only challenges she anticipates are adjusting to small town life, tourists, and living close to her lovable mother, Phyllis. When Fred steps into her soon-to-be bookshop for the first time, she expects dust bunnies and spiders, not the dead body in the upstairs kitchen. 23 books in that series. It's a corgi dog series. That sounds adorable. And the town does sound so cozy. Sherry, thank you so much for your list. It was absolutely fabulous. Next up is my friend Breezy, who gave another one of, again, do these people know cozies or what? Because she recommended the Seaside Cafe mystery series by Bree Baker. The first book is called Live and Let Chai. It's been doubled up, tripled up. This might be quadrupled up. The Library Lovers Mystery Series by Jen McKinley. This takes place in Briar Creek, Connecticut. The first book, I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it right here. We talked about that. Her third series that she recommended is the Paws and Claws series by Krista Davis. The first book is called Murder, She Barked, I believe. All of those have been mentioned before. So the next series that Breezy mentioned is the Lighthouse Library series by Eva Gates. The first book is called By Book or By Crook. It says, for 10 years, Lucy has enjoyed her job poring over rare tomes of literature for the Harvard Library, but she has not enjoyed the demands of her family's social world or her sort of engagement to the son of her father's law partner. But when her 10-year relationship implodes, Lucy realizes that the plot of her life is in need of a serious rewrite. Calling on her Aunt Ellen, Lucy hopes that a little fun in the Outer Banks sun and some confections from her cousin Josie's bakery will help clear her head. But her retreat quickly turns into an unexpected opportunity when Aunt Ellen gets her involved in the Lighthouse Library. Lucy is thrilled to land a librarian job in her favorite place in the world. But when a priceless first edition Jane Austen novel is stolen and the chair of the library board is murdered, Lucy suddenly finds herself in a real-life mystery. 9 books in that series. I am officially caught up in it, and it is fabulous. Breezy, amazing list. Thank you so much for participating. So next up are suggestions from my friend Blake at Blakesheartsbooks. She first suggested the Lucy Stone series. The first book is called Mistletoe Murder. It says, as if baking holiday cookies, knitting a sweater for her husband's gift, and making her daughter's angel costume for the church pageant weren't enough things for Lucy's busy Christmas schedule, she's also working nights at the famous mail order company, Country Cousins. But when she discovers Sam Miller, its very wealthy founder, dead in his car from an apparent suicide, the sleuth knows something doesn't smell right. Holy moly. There are 23 books in that series. Blake also mentioned the Candy Holiday Mystery Series by B.B. Haywood and the Tourist Trap series by Lynn Cahoon and the Bake Shop Mystery Series by Ellie Alexander. Ellie Alexander is one that's already been mentioned. The other two, I don't know how in my notes I missed writing down the synopsis in the first books for. I'm so sorry and I apologize. Blake, thank you so much for your suggestions. Please check out those other suggestions by her. The Tourist Trap series is one that I love. Again, it's by Lynn Cahoon, and the Candy Holiday by B.B. Haywood has some of the best covers and cozy mysteries to me. I absolutely love them. So next up are suggestions from my friend Jaret. The first one she said was, how did we miss it? Murder, She Wrote. Of course, Jaret. What a great suggestion. Cabot Cove, Maine is the location. This is by Donald Bain and Miss Jessica Fletcher herself. First book is called Jen and Daggers. It'll be right here. It says, Jessica Fletcher is off to London to deliver the keynote address at a mystery writers convention. She's also looking forward to seeing her mentor, Marjorie Ainsworth, who's hosting a party on her estate to celebrate her latest book. But a routine business trip becomes murderous business when Jessica discovers Marjorie stabbed to death in her own bedroom. 54 books in that series. If you like, of course, the TV show, check out the books. And if you just like that kind of TV show, you are a cozy mystery fan. I just know it. Oh my gosh, please give it a shot. Next suggestion by my friend Jaret, the Goldie Schultz Mystery Series by Diane Mott Davidson. This takes place in Aspen Meadow, Colorado. Book 1 is called Catering to Nobody. It says, catering awake is not Goldie's idea of fun. Yet the Colorado caterer throws herself into preparing a savory feast, including poached salmon and strawberry shortcake buffet designed to soothe 40 mourners. And her culinary efforts seem to be exactly what the doctor ordered, until her father-in-law, gynecologist Fritz Corman, is struck down. And Goldie is accused of adding poison to the menu. Now with the Department of Health impounding her leftovers, her ex-husband proclaiming her guilt, and her business about to be shut down, Goldie knows she can't wait for the police to serve up the answers. I have read that series. I think I can't swear that I read all of them, but I read, oh my gosh, so many when I first started reading cozies, and they are fabulous. It's an older series, and it's so good. What a great suggestion, Jaret. So Jaret has 2 more suggestions, and then it'll be time for my suggestions. So she also said the Hamish Macbeth series by MC Beaton. The first book is called Death of a Gossip, and I don't know what happened when I was doing these videos, but I forgot to write down the synopsis. Apologize. Her other suggestion was the Amish Candy Shop series. This takes place in Harvest, Ohio. It's by Amanda Flower and has been suggested a couple times. The first book is called Assaulted Caramel. Great, great suggestions. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to participate. All right, now we're at, these are the suggestions that I think of as maybe the best place for someone who's not sure that they like cozy mysteries, but are into all those things we've been talking about and just love the aspects of the small town, quirky characters. We've said all this before. Here we go. The Celebration Bay series by Shelley Fradant. The first book is called Foul Play at the Fair, right here. This is my first suggestion. It is amazing. So the main character, Liv Montgomery, is an event planner. This actually takes place in New York, in New York, Celebration Bay, New York. So as more and more tourists flock to Celebration Bay, New York, to enjoy their seasonal festivities, the town is in need of a professional coordinator. Enter Manhattan event planner Liv Montgomery, tired of the big city stress and looking for an idyllic spot where she and her Westie Terrier Whiskey can put down roots. The Harvest by the Bay Festival is Liv's first chance to prove herself, and everything from apple bobbing to pumpkin painting goes perfectly until the body of a juggler is discovered stuffed into an antique apple press. 4 books in that series. It is such a fun series, and it makes me think of Gilmore Girls. When I read that series, when I read the first one, I was just like, this is like the Gilmore Girls of books. I mean, with a murder. If you add in a murder. So good. The next one, Year-Round Christmas Mystery Series. This is by Vicki Delaney. It takes place in Rudolph, New York. The first book is called Rusty Murdered Gentleman. And this one makes me think of the same thing because the whole town revolves around Christmas. It's a year-round Christmas town, but they're constantly having some sort of tourist like event coming on, and the town's always doing something together, and everybody's always helping each other and knows everyone. It just, it's so good. So the first book says, as the owner of Mrs. Claus Treasures, Mary Wilkinson, who is our main character, knows how to decorate homes for the holiday. That's why she thinks her float in the semi-annual Santa Claus parade is a shoo-in for the best in show. But when the tractor pulling Mary's float is sabotaged, she has to face facts. There's a Scrooge in this Christmas town. Mary isn't ready to point fingers, especially with a journalist in town writing a puff piece about Rudolph's Christmas spirit. The town is Rudolph, New York. But when she stumbles upon the reporter's body on a late-night dog walk, police suspect he was poisoned by a gingerbread cookie crafted by her best friend, Vicky. 5 books in that series. Trust me, it's the perfect time of year to start something like that. So the last series I want to suggest is another Christmas-themed series, but it's the town that really makes me think of all those things that we've been talking about. It is the Christmas Tree Farm series by Jacqueline Frost. The town is Mistletoe, Maine. Holly White is our main character, and she works for her family's tree farm, but they have like these town events where everybody, like, it's like there's competitions, and there's a snowball fight, and there's a gingerbread competition, and there's like a tree decorating, all this stuff, and it's so amazing. So amazing. It would fit right into any Hallmark mystery movie channel. The first book is called 12 Sleighs of Christmas. It says, when Holly White's fiance cancels their Christmas Eve wedding with less than 2 weeks to go, Holly heads home with a broken heart. Lucky for her, home in historic Mistletoe, Maine is magical during Christmas time. Exactly what the doctor prescribed. Except her plan to drown her troubles in peppermints and snickerdoodles is upended when the local grouch and president of the Mistletoe Historical Society, Margaret Fenwick, is bludgeoned and left in the sleigh display at reindeer games. Those are those competition that I was telling you about at Holly's family's tree farm. 3 books in that series. All right, guys, you have a lot of great suggestions. Until next time, may all your future reads be 5 stars.